Good morning. Welcome to another rip-roaring session of Memaw's training a Mustang. So, here we go. I'm going to be working with Tawny today. I'll be right there. Good morning. Welcome to a rip-roaring session of Memaw trains a Mustang. Oh, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. We had a very long night last night. It was 4th of July, and we have a stage 1 fireworks restriction in our valley, meaning you're not allowed to put any fireworks in the air. I don't know who in their right mind thought it was okay, but we had tens of thousands of dollars of illegal fireworks from Wyoming shooting off in our air all the way until midnight. So Tawny and I are pretty tired. So I have to read the room when I'm training a horse. So today I'm going to give you a whole bunch of insights that I know, that I implement, that I am not explaining to you guys. So we're going to start with eyesight. And if this is what you know already, great, add comments because I can't answer questions. But the eyesight of the horse is crucial for proper training of the horse. Horses have monocular and binocular vision. When you're training a horse on the left side, or let's start here. Right now, you're okay, baby. You're okay. I'm training her on her right side, is what I call this. She is seeing me with her right eye. She is processing this information with her left brain. Her left brain is learning everything that I do on the right side. On the right side is also the logic side. When you're training a horse, the right side you're dealing more with logic and less with emotion. Now most of my horses, as I'm training them, end up being right side dominant because I'm very logical in my training methods and it makes a lot of sense to them. When I'm training on the left side of Tawny, she is processing this information with her, and I'm moving around her deliberately. This is a part of my training with her today. Her right brain. When I'm training on the left side, I'm also training on the emotion side. You're going to get a lot more emotion when you're working on the left side than the right side. But the general rule for training is whatever you do on the left, you have to train on the right, or vice versa. You have to train unilaterally, both sides. And in my world, that means everything. We mount left, we mount right. We discount mount left, we dismount right. We saddle left, we saddle right. We bridle left, we bridle right. We halter left, we halter right. Everything we do is a mirror image, because when these horses leave my world, you never know what they're going to encounter. So imagine if the whole life of this horse, everybody mounted on the left side over and over and over and over again. Never has anybody come on or off the right side. And you have a little boy on the back of this horse, and he's missing that last barrel, and he starts to slip off. And instead of the horse reacting and slowing down and helping the little boy, because the little boy is hanging off the right side, the horse freaks out. So we don't want that to happen. And we also live in a trail riding area, phenomenal, and you're up on a mountainside and all of a sudden you hit some bad rocks and you need to get off and lead your horse. And the only safe way to do is that get off on the right. You want to be able to get off the right comfortably without worrying about what your horse is going to do. How sweetheart. So that's my what started my eyesight. There is a hilarious video going around that everybody thinks is funny of a horse running into a barn wall full speed. The horse cannot see my hand at all. So if you're riding your horse and it runs into a post, guys, that's on you. The horse can't see here. They're designed to see from here back on both sides. And they're like a semi-truck, and I'm going to try this, so hang on. Oh yeah, you can go to your bucket. You're okay. When I am back here behind her like Simon, I can hide behind Simon, he's so big, and he literally cannot see me. And if I pop out on one side, ooh baby, you're okay. You're okay, good girl. If I pop out on one side, he has like a split second to decide, is that Memaw or is that a mountain lion? And I really want him to think it's Memaw instead of a mountain lion. So if you drive a car, you know that those truck drivers cannot see you unless you can see you can see them in the mirror. So you have to be able to see their mirrors. Same with the horse. When you're coming up from behind, ooh baby, good girl. No, ooh, you're okay. She says show the left side. Ooh, ooh. So when you're coming up back here and you're coming up to them, you make sure you can see their eye. Don't just pop out from behind them and go, woo, here I am, because they may just kick you. We do have mountain lions in our area, and all of my Mustangs know about mountain lions. So you have to know, let them know who you are. Hi, sweetheart, come here. Would you be more comfortable if I scooted it over there? Hey, you can eat. So in today's training session with her, all I wanted her to do was stand quiet here in the middle. I'm not going to ask her to lunge. I'm not going to ask her to do anything. I'm just asking her to stand quiet while I educate you guys on a few things in case you don't know these things and you're trying to train your horse. Do you see my lead line? Do you see it has a smiley face? If I need to discipline her, I can, but I want a smiley face. She should stand here quietly. I'm not doing any, this isn't tough stuff, guys. This is stand quiet. We worked on this all week. She knows stand quiet's a good thing. She didn't on Tuesday. Now she thinks it's great. We're going to do a little main thing. For those of you who are training a horse, horses have unique physiology in the fact that their spleen carries extra blood in it. And so when they get in a fight or flight situation, that spleen dumps into their bloodstream and gives them extra blood vessels, red blood cells, to succeed in whatever they have to do. Outrun the mountain lion or fight off the mountain lion if they jump on you. So horses in stalls do not dump their spleen. They have to have some trigger to do that. So they have to buck, they have to run, they have to do a pretty quick start. So if your horse is stabled all the time, you have to make sure they have free play, and twice a week is absolutely the best remedy for a horse. And I don't have to worry about any of my horses right now. Today is Saturday. Friday, every one of their spleens dumped last night. This place just exploded around us. The only saving grace is I love the neighborhood around us. Not one person shot off a firework in that neighborhood. So that was very, very helpful. Very helpful. So the spleen thing is important because if you go to any racetrack and you start pulling blood off these racehorses, almost every one of those racehorses' blood will look like sickle cell anemia. Their red blood cells will be misformed. They will not be functionable in the race. And the reason that is because they're only breezing the horses irregularly and not twice a week. And if you look at the research done by the University of Texas A&M on how to properly condition your horse, it actually talks about twice a week, making sure they have anaerobic exercise to dump that spleen. So these are important things you need to know if you're training. Now we know she's dumped her spleen twice this week. She's pretty calm today, by the way. Next thing about training. 90% of the horses that come in here and I ask, do they lunge? And I get a yes. They may lunge, but they don't walk. They come in here and immediately they are trotting, they are cantering, and getting them slowed down is really a tough job. Willow was that way. The minute I turned her loose, she would just take off trotting and cantering. Walk is absolutely the most important gait. As a rider, you will spend at least 85% of your time in walk mode. So if that's where you need to spend your time. These horses need to know this means walk, this means move. And so with my horses, we start off, we walk first, if I can. Queen sometimes just can't handle it. But if Queen's on point, and we've been working her regularly, she comes in and we walk first. And that walk stretches out all those ligaments and tendons. Now you have a lot less injuries happening. We don't want injuries with our horses. So you walk your laps. And then you go into your trot, and you make sure your horse is pretty warmed up. Then you go into your canters, you make those maneuvers. When you're done doing whatever training you have upwards above the walk, when you're done, you come back to the walk, and you walk your horse in that same circle lunging. Now you're done. Now, remember my rules. Now you turn around, and you do the exact same exercise going the other way. You walk, you trot, you do your upper level movements and training, you come back to a walk, and you walk, and then you're done. When you see Hank out, he's the white horse that we're preparing. If you're not following along on Hank, Hank has a playlist on my profile. He's the white horse, he's the senior horse that came in with a huge head injury and has rear gut ulcers. And last July he had pitched his little girl off in a gymkhana and she face planted into the dirt. She was rushed to the hospital. The worst thing that came out is she broke a little tiny wire on her braces, and she was wearing a helmet, guys. No concussion. And so we came in, he had pinched nerves, he had all this head damage. So she muddled through the end of the dressage season with him. And for the last 11 months, actually continuing now 12 months, she has been out here every day making sure he gets his physical therapy that Dr. Elizabeth set him on, and made sure he had his stomach meds and supplements. And she went to dressage camp in June, and one of the instructors hit her horse in the face. If you want to piss a child off, hit her horse in the face after she spent thousands of dollars on body work and facial work. So she's decided she's going to win the whole damn thing. I know, go figure. And he is being a snot butt because we trained him all this bad behavior. If he bucks and snorts like that, she gets off. Well, now she's not getting off. So every time he does that, I'm going in there and making him finish the workout. So she's really cowboying up and really making sure this happens. So that's a really fun story to watch. If you ever want to see most of his full-line training videos, those are on my other channel, my other video channel. I try to get all my long training videos up on the other channel so that those people who are watching here and want to find out more can go there. Oh, you guys, wasn't that better than earlier in the week? Okay, next thing, when you're in here and you're training a horse, your skills as a horse trainer are only 50% of your battle. Your real battle is inside of you, because these guys mirror you. They mirror your emotions. If you're angry, oh, we're having a fight. If you're sad, they're sad. If you're scared, woo, they really get scared. And now we have a big fight on our hands. So learning to control your emotions when you're with the horse is really, really, really important. And it's one of those things that you have to learn. And what happens with me, and it happened the other day, is I have to have a way to release my emotions later. Because I had some real stressful things happen this week, and because of that real stressful thing, I held back a lot of fear, I held back a lot of anger, I held back a lot of what the heck do I do now, overwhelmed panic. And I was in here training, and so on my way to another meeting where I had to really deal with something hard regarding my mom's death. My mom just died about 6 weeks ago, and we just had her funeral 2 weeks ago. So I had to pull myself together, and it took longer than normal. So I've added some extra miles onto my daily walks so that I can meditate and release that a little more. I think that's working. I need you guys to, how do you release those emotions after you've come out of a round pen or an arena? And this is really interesting because I think that show jumpers have it best, because they and their horses, you talk about controlling your fear. Oh my gosh, on the back of that horse, you're jumping over those huge jumps. You have to be rock solid. You cannot get scared up there, because if you get scared, that horse is going to look at that jump and be scared. So they have this enormous amount of control. And when they're done, you can see them release all that emotion, and it's just this overjoy of loving on their horse. And I've noticed there's a couple of little girls that I follow, one I follow on Instagram and one I follow on YouTube, that are show jumpers, and they're little ones. One's 7 and one's like 9. But they've been doing this for a while. And you can see when they come out, even when they've come on the ground and they've picked themselves up and they've dusted themselves off and they've got their horse in their hand, they are still going to that horse going, yeah, man, we did really good until we fell, you know. And they're releasing all that energy as positive to their horse. Oh man, look what we did when we almost got there. We don't do that when we're in here training every day. And I think that might be something that I want to consider. I'm going to bring her back up to the camera. Okay, when I get back to my phone and see the comments, there better be 8 million comments saying, Memaw, you have a circle. Because these are not allowed. I like fingers. You guys like your fingers. Hold your lead lines like this. It slides out. Do not ever wrap a lead line, a lunge line, a pair of reins, anything around your hand. You are now going to be drugged if that horse moves. Don't do it. Okay. One more thing I want to talk about training. We talked about your motions. But when a horse gets scared, they have 3 responses. They can fly away, they can fight, or they can freeze. Our object in all of our training is to get them to freeze. Because that freeze is exactly the moment you have to decipher what you have to do with that horse to be safe. What do I have to do to get me safe? What do I do to get my horse safe? And it has happened to us at this rescue over and over and over again. We put a woo command on our horse that tells them to stop. We do that so much and we actually freeze them into it. And it saved all of our lives more than once. Because that horse they'll get scared, they start reacting. We say woo, they stop, and we have 1 minute to figure out how to get these horses in a safe. And so I really want you to focus on that, on the freeze command, because that's really important. And guys, I'm pretty wasted after last night. No, I don't drink. But when you have fireworks going off after midnight, and you have horses that are terrified of fireworks, like her. Actually, she was not afraid of the fireworks. This is what was interesting. She lives between Willow on one side and Simon on the other side. The fireworks terrified Willow. But there was a little 7-year-old here last night that stood in front of that gate and said, "You're okay, nothing bad's going to happen to you." As long as that 7-year-old was right there, Willow was just like chill as a cucumber. So I don't think Willow can mirror off of people, adults. I think she can only mirror off of children. So I think that's why she's going to be such a good children's horse. Because not only can she mirror them, but that's the energy that she's drawn to. Because when that little girl left, Willow did not stay calm, even though 2 adults stayed right there with her. Very interesting. Simon had a net, so he stayed pretty calm. And so Tawny was bouncing between 2 high energy horses and gravitated to a person there that was just standing there talking to another person and just stood there. So all of them mirrored the calmness. My barn was incredibly quiet. I was really surprised. The hennies didn't faze them at all. Makes me wonder if they could actually hear, because there were some pretty big bang bangs. Okay, so I'm going to leave her here for a minute, turn off my camera. Really, guys, that's all I'm going to do with her today. I'm just going to go pick her up, take her back to her stall. I will be spending all of this afternoon after my nap. I am taking a nap this afternoon. Oh, I have this in my pocket. I will be taking a nap, and then starting tomorrow morning, I will be devising a plan on how to get all of the Colorado Mustangs out of holding pens in the next 90 days. Stay tuned. That's going to be one heck of a ride, guys. I am going to need your help. We're starting a letter campaign. We're not going electronically. My grandfather, great-grandfather times 10 was Benjamin Franklin. Yes, he was. And he was the one that came up with the United States Postal Service. And in the state of Colorado, it is the most important thing we have because we vote by mail. And we have a very strong voting system. But I would like to see if we can't get the attention of the Senate and of the Congress and of the President to put the protection back on the wild horses in the next 90 days. And I think the best way we're going to be able to do that is to absolutely flood them with physical copies of mail. My website is under construction right now as we speak. It will be finished hopefully within the next 4 to 5 days, and it will be all aimed at how do you write to your congressman, how do we save these horses, and what can we do to change this if you want to. Stay tuned. Let's see what I can do. Have a great day. I'm going to go answer some questions on the screen. Okay, I'm back. Oh, everybody's like, Memaw, how can I help you? Yes, you are going to be helping me because when we get those posts up asking people to send a mail in, and these are, I really want to aim for children, I'm going to have a coloring page up that says Save the Mustangs, and we are going to ask everybody to color on one side and in the other side. I don't care if it's crayon, color pencil, ink pen, what, right on the back, please save our Mustangs, and have a written note on it. Someone said, I'll donate. GVHR.org is where we're going to do it. We're looking for people to do Project Cirrus. We're looking for defenders. It's $25 a month. That helps us run our website. That helps us run Project Cirrus. And everything will be running through our website at gvhr.org. 64,000 Mustangs right now are what are in the holding pen. On October the 1st, anybody, I mean anybody in the United States that's a United States citizen can drive up to those holding pens, back their horse trailer up, and pick any horse they want out of those pens and pay $25 a piece for them and drive them right over the Canada or Mexico borders and have them slaughtered. So we are at a race to save these horses. Okay, guys, you could help me if you are not in Western Colorado or in the West. People on the eastern part, the exercise rider who's in Kentucky, start telling people at the racetrack what's going on. We're going to need their help. We're going to need everybody's help. This is like the worst thing that could possibly ever happen. The worst. George, you all met George when we did the live feed. I'll get you following her. When we did the live feed at the Little Booklet adoption last weekend, George gentled a horse and had the halter on in 45 minutes. Guys, this isn't rocket science. Even though he was a rocket scientist. That's a joke. He literally was a rocket scientist. I used to be a corporate controller, so you know we came from different worlds. But we're going to have to get the word out to absolutely everybody. So this is just, George wrote, Wild Horse Annie started a campaign decades ago, about 50 years ago, asking everybody to write a letter to Congress to protect the wild horses. So many kids wrote a letter, and George was one of them. He wrote a letter to Congress and the president saying, save these wild horses. We're about to do that again. And we're going to have to be bigger. And we're going to have to include everybody. So that's where we are. We're out for the day. Guys, I really hope, when my kids leave here every day, I ask them, I said, I hope you learned something. And I really hope I taught you guys something very much. Says, oh man, just messed me. Don't call anytime. Thank you very much, Joseph. Joseph, you can start spreading that word at your racetracks. Help me out there, Joseph. If you don't know, guys, I have a love of two types of horses. If you come through my rescue, besides the ones that my community surrenders to me, I have a preference for off-the-track thoroughbreds and Mustangs. And I have quite a few off-the-track Mustangs that are either off-the-track thoroughbreds that are either here now or have been here. I have two right now, and one's a sanctuary. Both of them right now are under sanctuary rules, so they're not up for adoption because I can't get them healthy and sound. So yeah, this is pretty heartbreaking. So yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania now, but I'm from Louisiana. I got my trainer's license in Colorado through Arapahoe. Fantastic. Guys, just start talking to people at your tracks. Start talking to people at your barns, saying, do you guys know this is happening? And if not, my website is GVHR.org. And by midweek next week, we'll have it all laid out so everybody can come get where to email or where to mail your letters. And please, we're going to mail them. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. And we'll talk to you. Oh, she's going to roll. Woo-woo. Oh, I am in Colorado. I am in western Colorado. Grand Junction, Colorado in one location and Fruita in the other. And George is up in Eckert. So, yes, we're in western Colorado. Definitely in western Colorado. So, I've got two. Oh. Another thing, if you're interested, the Piance Mustang meeting is coming up in 2 weeks, and we'll get the information on my website and out here. So, oh, fantastic. Paige is on here, guys. If you have not seen Paige's videos, you need to follow her. She is one of the best Mustang trainers I have ever seen. Here's a really high compliment. There were a bunch of Mustangers at that Little Book Cliffs Mustang adoption. And I have a horse that Bree couldn't handle. I have a horse that George couldn't handle. I have a horse incoming that Macy couldn't handle. I have several horses that Diana couldn't handle. I've never had a horse from Paige, guys. So that means she must be doing something pretty good if I don't end up with any of her horses. I'm pretty stoked about that. So, and this horse is, they've tried to saddle gentle twice. Once by Diana, once by Connie. I'm not going to have any problems. She'll be saddle gentled by the spring. You just have to explain to them what you're asking, and they get pretty good at it. So, all right, guys. What is Paige? Okay, Paige is Fantasia. She's doing a... Paige, give me another comment, please. Let's see if she'll give me another comment. She's typing real fast. This is Paige. Do you see it right there? Fantasia Horsemanship. This is Paige. Guys, follow her now. Just go right now and follow her. She is absolutely one of the most amazing trainers. She's actually, we're hoping that we can tie her in. They're not very popular on this channel, but my fan favorites on another channel are Ruby and Rio, who came in, and we never thought we would get Ruby saddle gentled, and she's rideable now and doing phenomenal. But we're hoping to get Paige out there to do some lessons there, because I was supposed to ride Rio in an upcoming dressage show, and I can't. I can't ride yet, guys. I'm still too broken. So I think they were going to ask Paige to do that. So this is how high I admire Paige. So you really need to follow her. What she's going to be telling you on her videos is the truth. She's done this. So, all right. I'm out. The fireworks were really major last night. So I'm going to call it a day with her, and I think she's doing amazing. She went from, oh, there we go. She went from me walking into that round pen, giving me a butt and bucking at me, to me walking in that round pen and standing quiet and letting me groom her. And we did that in 4 sessions. So without any pressure, and it was just nice and easy. And now she figured out that if she stands quiet looking at me, nothing bad on the planet happens. And that's how we have to have it. So thank you guys very much. Love you all. Talk to you later.